at the Utah Botanical Center, USU Extension in Kaysville. Anytime myself or one of my customers has a question, we send them up here to the experts, also to come around the grounds and get some ideas and options for their landscape.
Zach, how are you?
Sean, good to meet you. I'm happy to be here.
Nice to meet you. We're here at the Botanical Center looking around, see what's here in bloom today and what's growing well. This particular property is called the Utah House, and the goal of this project is to demonstrate ways to save water and energy, both outside in the landscape, inside in the house.
This is my idea of heaven here. I really like this type of landscaping.
So the landscape's divided into 3 zones. Up close to the house is the highest water use, then kind of a medium use zone, then out on the edge, little or no irrigation water. But as you can see, there's a lot of different color, textures. It's a nice looking garden, even though it's water-wise.
Oh, I love it. And you know, the part that's on the outskirts, that's what you basically turn the water off to that, right?
Right. A couple of years to get it established and then no water needed after that. Here we have some raised beds. A lot of people in Utah have heavy clay soil. Sometimes you can amend it. This is one product that I really like. It's called Soil Pep. It's composted fir bark. You can mix a couple of inches of this into your heavy clay soil. It'll loosen it up, make it easier to work with. If you have really heavy clay soil, then a raised bed garden like this works really well. This one's made out of cedar. You can also use redwood, cinder blocks, things like that.
Anything that will hold up good in the weather and
Right.
the water, because it's going to be, you know, it's going to have a lot of water on it.
And it's going to have some weight when you put the soil in. The other question is, you've got this nice raised bed built. What do you put into it? And so you can use some native soil and add something like this, which is compost, perlite, maybe half this, half the native soil. That'll make a nice loose mix to put in the bed. A bed doesn't normally have to be this high, maybe just 6 or 12 inches. These are a little higher, so you can get around them with a wheelchair or walker. And normally I don't recommend planting in straight compost because it doesn't support the roots very well. So a little topsoil mixed in helps out.
The water percolates too quickly also in just straight compost?
With raised beds, yes, the water goes through quickly and you may have to irrigate a little more often.
Too much, yeah.
And here we're using drip irrigation. You can also use sprinklers to irrigate raised beds, but they'll warm up quicker in the spring. They're easy to weed, saves water. You can plant just about anything. The other thing with the raised bed is it's usually planted in a block pattern with the plants just a few inches apart. You don't need rows or anything, just put
Or
the
some
plants
people
close.
hear square foot gardening.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the same principle?
Square foot gardening, it's the same idea that each plant has a certain amount of space that it needs. So we don't have furrows or anything like in a big garden, so you can put the plants closer together.
How's the yield on the plants? You get a lot of fruit off of them?
Yes, the yield in these raised beds is very good because you can put the plants closer together. You have a nice loose soil and the plants take off growing. It's a good growing system.
Yeah, you can control your growing medium for it to extract the nutrients.
Right, and a lot of these soilless mixes have some fertilizer mixed right in with them, so that makes it easy. Just pour it in, start growing.
Sean, this place is incredible. What do you have to show me here?
Well, this teaching garden has a variety of different plant materials, and the value of that is if you have plants scattered, they can kind of hide from insects and they may not find the one that you want to eat. So this can apply to ornamentals like we have here or fruits and vegetables. So having a variety of plants gives more insects, more predators, insects, and just makes the garden overall healthier. There's a lot of plant interactions. One that's been studied is this alyssum plant, for example, is a host to parasitic wasps, and they will go off and eat the green worms that get into cabbage and
that's
broccoli.
a problem for everybody.
So having a diversity of plants increases the potential that you'll have the good insects there. Also, while we're right here, I want to mention these iris. We have the Dykes Medal winners back to 1924.
Incredible.
So every year, new iris are entered into a competition. The best one's given the medal. And so we have all of the Dykes winners here. They're labeled and named people can come here and look around and see if there's one that they might be interested in. I wanted to mention a resource. We've been doing a lot of work lately on organic production. Worked with others at USU to develop a book, A Guide to Common Organic Gardening Questions. If you're interested in techniques that have been proven successful here in Utah, the book's available at your local extension office.